Welcome to the BS Report, taping this on a Friday afternoon. 6 days before the draft, Jalen Rose is here. We spent a lot of time together in Miami and Indiana and San Antonio.
You mind if I bring my bat along for
Bring
the
your
BS
bat
report?
along.
Okay.
Bring your, this is
Thank you.
unfiltered.
Don't get fired.
We have as much time as we want. This is great. The draft is coming.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We're working the draft.
Yes.
Thursday.
We are.
Yep.
With Reese Davis and Jay Billis.
Yes, indeed.
And it's going to be probably the most interesting draft that's ever happened because Joel Embiid got hurt. He hurt his foot.
He did.
He broke his navicular bone.
Good job, Bill.
Thank you. Bill Walton broke that bone. Yao Ming broke that bone. Zydrunas Ilgauskas broke that bone. Michael Jordan broke that bone. Was totally fine after. So I don't know what to make of that, but it's a serious injury. He is not going to go first. If you were the Cleveland Cavaliers, who would you take first?
Okay, so it's not who they're going to take,
No.
but who I think they should take.
This is our mock draft, what we think they should do,
Okay, you got it.
not what they're going to do.
Okay. Number one, if I'm the Cleveland Cavaliers, if I'm going to get a franchise player, I have to draft him because I'm not just throwing blank checks around the league for prominent players. And it's tough for me to recruit players even if I have LeBron James.
So you're saying you can't get a free agent if you're Cleveland, who is one of the top 20 players in the league. It's an impossibility.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have to draft him.
Okay.
And you know who I'm drafting? The guy you just described, Joel Embiid.
You're taking him anyway.
I'm not panicking.
You're not panicking. It's a broken navicular bone.
I know, but you know what? I reached last year with Anthony Bennett. You can even hear Bill Simmons in the background like, whoa!
Yeah.
Okay. I made that choice
Okay.
as an owner, but I also made the Kyrie Irving choice, and he turned out pretty well. And I need to pair him with a guy that can protect the rim, that can score on the block, that can create balance on our team. I'm taking Embiid. I'm going to deal with his injury issues. I'm going to wait for him to get healthy and hope he turns into a guy that could be a game changer for 12 to 15 years.
Injury issues? Is that what we're calling them now?
Yeah. When you have a back and you have a foot and you can't play in the NCAA tournament.
It seems like you need both of those things.
Especially when you're 7 foot. But he's a skilled big guy. I have to take the
Very
chance.
skilled. 7'1" Serge Ibaka.
Yep.
I watched him work out. I was really impressed. I thought he was a guaranteed #1 pick. And then it turned out he had some foot injury. Nobody knows if he hurt the foot during a workout, if it was an injury he had at Kansas, what the deal is. But nobody knows about the back either. I've heard conflicting things about the back. Might be a little more serious, maybe.
But he
Possibly.
showed the Cavs before he had this foot injury that he was moving terrific. He was shooting the
He was.
basketball. He was shooting threes. He was
And now-
turning over both
And
shoulders.
now he's in a cast.
Correct. So, again, if I'm the Cavs, I'm trying to hit the home run. They've tried for singles, bunt singles. They've tried for doubles. They've had a home run with LeBron James. I'm trying to do that with Joel Embiid.
Okay, so I agree with you and I disagree with you. I think they should trade down. I think they should take the 1 pick and move down to 3. The Sixers are panicked that they're not going to get Wiggins. Sixers want Wiggins. They haven't really exactly made it a secret or kept it a secret. Milwaukee can't take Wiggins. I don't think he'd be happy there. I don't know if that's the right pick. They need a nice, stable guy, a sure thing, a commodity. They need to take Jabari Parker. So if Philly and Cleveland swap picks, Cleveland moves down to 3. They take Embiid there. Philly leapfrogs Milwaukee. Now they don't have to worry about losing Wiggins. Everybody wins.
But Cleveland doesn't, because if you're the Cavs, you're saying in a draft where their projected picks, not only the top 3 guys that we've discussed, but multiple players that I think become all-stars in this draft, why would you allow somebody else to make the decision for you? You have
Well,
the
they're
number
making
1
the
pick.
decision.
No, you have the number 1 pick. Pick the best player.
They're going to do that
Don't-
anyway.
don't-
They're just going to get him at 3.
No, don't try to do the process of elimination.
Why?
Of you take Jabari and then you take Wiggins. Oh, I have no choice but to get Embiid. No, you got the first pick. Take who you feel like you want.
I go the other way. I would pretend I was taking Wiggins. I would make Philly panic. Like, oh, Wiggins, looking really good.
Looks awesome.
Because think about it. If you're Philly at 3, you thought you were getting Wiggins. You thought it was going to go Embiid, Parker, Wiggins. Now, all of a sudden, this monkey wrench happens. Now, Cleveland takes Parker. Milwaukee's like, all right, fine, we'll take Wiggins. Now you're Philly. You've Embiid with a broken foot. You already have Nerlens Noel. I don't think those two can play together, although whether Nerlens Noel is a starter remains to be seen. But I think Philly would get a little desperate at that point. They have the 10th pick. Maybe you figure out a way to trade the 1 and Dion Waiters for 3 and 10. Then you take Embiid 3.
I think the way you just described the first 3 picks is how I think they should go.
Right.
I think Embiid should go to the Cavs. I think Parker, who has Chicago roots, it's an hour away from Milwaukee. If he becomes a 20-point scorer.
Is it an hour?
Yes, it's an hour. I've done it.
I know you've done it. There might have been an import or 40.
Exactly.
Chicago. What's Chicago Airport to Milwaukee? In a limo. How much did that limo cost? Was it a limo or a town car?
Like $115.
Cab? Do you ever
Depends
cab?
on if it's the winter time. You know, it gets cold in the Midwest.
What's the level of transportation for the imports from Chicago to Milwaukee?
You got a 100% town car or drive.
Town car.
Yeah, or drive.
What do you mean drive? You make them drive?
Yes.
It's from Chicago to Milwaukee?
I mean, you want to deal with people that normally have one crucial element if you're going to visit with them, a car.
Oh, good point. Good point. Well, what if they're not from Chicago?
Well, then, you're not working your districts right. If you're going to import, it got to be in the region. You got to import from the Midwest when you're there, in the South when you're there, on the West Coast when you're there. You can't be in Milwaukee importing somebody from L.A. It just doesn't work like that.
So Milwaukee is probably 75-minute drive from Chicago. Jabari Parker, a hero in Chicago, won 4 straight high school titles. He goes to Milwaukee, good kid. Not the kind of kid who's going to be like, you got to pay me this or I'm going to leave. Nice family, reliable. Probably, what do we think? Somewhere between slightly poor man's Paul Pierce, a little bit of Rudy Gay in there, a touch of Carmelo.
I say more Glenn Robinson.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah, I like that.
Because he's going to be bigger than threes where he can post them up, but he's not going to be able to guard them off the dribble.
And we don't think he was in shape last year for reasons that I don't think were his fault because he broke his foot the summer before.
Correct.
It seemed like he was carrying another 15. I look at him and I think like in 5 years when Tim Grover or whoever gets a hold of him, that guy is going to be a nice chiseled piece of NBA meat and he's going to look good.
But one thing that's not going to change, and this is why you play team basketball, there were moments in his freshman year where Coach K would take him out defensively.
Yep.
Because he was really hurting the team.
Or play him at center to try to hide him. I thought it was interesting. Play him a zone and stick him in the back.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I do think he's the most ready to play when October, November happens. That's why I think you take him number 2.
The thing I like about him, he seems like he'd be fun to play with. I know that's a weird thing to say.
No, it's not.
When I watched him in person, just the way he saw the court, he's a good guy. I didn't feel like he was a ball hog. Kind of fit in, could do a bunch of things, could kind of roll with whatever was happening. Thought he had a nice feel. I was impressed.
And also the thing is he understands his strengths and weaknesses offensively. Like when a player has the ability to score 20 points, which I think he's going to have the ability to do in the league, you got to do it in very few dribbles. There are not many possessions where I caught him dribbling 6-7 times before he get a shot. He's more decisive like Carmelo used to be when he played at Syracuse, when he played in Denver. How it was 2, 3, 4 dribbles, and then worst case scenario, he finishing at the hoop. It was decisive. And that's what I like about his game.
All right, so flip this around. Would you be shocked if he didn't score 20 points in a season at some point in his career?
He's going to be a 20-point scorer. To answer your question, yes, I would be.
I would be shocked as well. Would you be shocked if he didn't average 20 points a game for, like, let's say for 4 seasons in his prime combined?
He should definitely have at least 4 seasons where he averages over 20, no doubt about it.
We agree. So I think he's the surest thing in the draft. Like, you point to Wiggins, and I look at Wiggins, I'm like, I don't know. Like, yeah, he has the highest upside, but I could also see him just being like a really good defensive player who kind of floats in and out of games offensively. You know, I remember seeing T-Mac when he was in Toronto as a rookie, and he looked like he was totally out of it. But you could at least see that there was athletic ability there. This kid's the same age T-Mac was in Toronto.
How about in common, these top 3 prospects that we're describing all have at least 1, if not 2 parents that performed at an elite level athletically. Like all of these kids have grown up in homes like Sonny Parker was an NBA player. Okay.
Who is Embiid?
Embiid. So let me give you some stats on Embiid. His father is a colonel in the military.
Okay.
Okay, so imagine, and he's a handball champion.
Handball champion.
Okay.
I like handball.
Now, how about this? I never met my father, but some of the decisions I made in my life, if he was a military colonel and he was good at handball, I had some webs on my face. Okay, so he's going to be disciplined and play within himself. We talked about Parker, and obviously Wiggins, his mom and his dad were athletes. So growing up in those households, I think it taught him to sacrifice, to work ethic, to be able to see it up close. I think it meant a lot for those three prospects.
So the Del Curry corollary.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I always thought Steph Curry, that was like an advantage for him.
So I'm fascinated by this. So I'm going to tell you.
I like you're going off script. I like this. You put out a white piece of paper and everything.
So look, like I said, Embiid's father is a colonel in the military and a handball champion.
You know what his name is? Colonel Embiid.
No, his father's name is Thomas.
Colonel Thomas Embiid. Okay.
Right? And for Jabari Parker, his father, Sonny, was a 17th pick in the first round.
I remember.
Played 6 years in the NBA.
Did he have red hair?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he was redheaded.
And for Wiggins, his dad, Mitchell, played at Florida State.
And Houston Rockets. Played in the 86 finals.
Absolutely. And also his
had a little trouble after that.
His mom was a track standout. So she won 2 NCAA titles.
I don't like how prepared you are.
And 2 silver medals.
2 silver medals?
Yes, in the Olympics.
Wow.
So these are really accomplished parents who have kids that are athletes that they're teaching them at an elite level what it's going to take to be productive.
You know what I've been meaning to tell you for ever since I've known you? You should really be mad at David Robinson and John Thompson and Charles Smith and those guys who blew the 88 gold medal. Because if that didn't happen, there never would have been the groundswell to have the pros play, and you would have been on the 92 Olympic team.
I know. Picture that.
That would have been an awesome team. When was C. Webb's draft?
He got drafted in 93.
Oh, maybe you wouldn't have been on that team.
No, that was a year.
Oh, no. Yeah, you were freshmen.
Yeah, we were.
Okay, so who's on the 92 team if there's no pros? Leitner?
All of the Duke guys, because
Bobby Hurley?
Coach K is a terrific ambassador. If you look back at all of those clips, there were always Duke players.
Allen Houston?
He was at Tennessee putting up work.
You, C. Webb, and Juwan. I think you get 3 on the team.
Glenn Robinson.
Oh, Glenn Robinson's on that team?
Jason Kidd.
Is Jason Kidd on that team? He is.
He was in my draft.
Grant Hill?
Yep. Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, you're
Memphis.
right. He hadn't come out yet.
Yep.
Shaq had come out, though. No, Shaq hadn't come out because he was 92.
Shaq, Alonzo.
That team would have killed everybody. We didn't need the pros.
It was about business.
Coach K would have cut one of the Michigan guys, and it would have turned into a blood war. Yeah, you would have cut. You know what would have happened? You wouldn't have survived Monte Carlo.
Like, where's Jalen?
Where's
we
Jalen?
got practice.
He said he had to go back to the Monte Carlo hotel for a second.
Or like in the Fab Five doc, I'm a product of my environment, and this ain't it. Jalen on the flight back to Detroit. He said he couldn't take it anymore.
You would have liked Monte Carlo.
I need to.
You actually might still be there.
Never would have come back.
I knew this podcast was somebody else. Me and Bruce Bowen or somebody. All right, so we think Milwaukee should take Parker.
Yeah, Milwaukee has to take Parker. He's a 20-point scorer potentially for multiple seasons. And also, here's the thing you got to pay attention to when you're the Cavs and the Bucks. And I want to stress this. You're not getting the elite level free agent just to come unless you double overpay him.
Right.
So you got to draft your go-to guy. You got to draft your game-changing player.
Well, let's play this out though. If Cleveland takes Parker, we both think Milwaukee should take Wiggins, right? And either take him and trade him or figure it out. But he's the best asset there.
Yes.
So then Philly ends up with Embiid anyway.
Yep.
So we think that's still the order in some way.
Yeah, those are the 3.
Now, what if Philly says, see, here's what I think Philly's going to do. I think Philly is totally fine with throwing away next year, too. They threw away the last year. You take Embiid. Maybe with the 10th pick, you take Dario Saric, stash him for a year, and you're awful again. Now you get another top 3 pick. So now you have Noel, you have Embiid, you have Michael Carter-Williams, you have Saric, and you have whoever next year's top 4 pick is, and all of a sudden now you have 4 high lottery picks, basically.
Embiid's not falling to 3.
You want to bet on it?
Sure.
I still owe you like 5 lobster tempura dinner.
Exactly.
I owe you like 4 now because I paid off a couple.
Okay, yeah, you did.
I did.
Yeah, for all of the listeners, he did pay off a couple when we were in Miami.
I'm on a payment plan. I paid 2 or 3.
Cleveland has to take Embiid 1. I know there's injury concern. I get that. But if you got a chance to get a game-changing player that's 7 foot, 250 pounds, turns over both shoulders, protects the rim, just got to draft him.
Here's why it's good that we are on this show together and we've had separate experiences and we have separate skills in life. Now, you're looking at this objectively like Cleveland, here's what they should do. He's the best player, whatever. I'm going to bring in the psyche of the Cleveland fan. This is a city that has not won a title since 1964, 50 years ago.
They just got Manziel.
This is a
You
city.
know what? We need to hang out with Johnny Manziel.
I'm ready.
He ain't getting ready for the NFL season. He's getting
ready.
ready for the summer. We need to follow him.
When I have my it's time to get divorced weekend, he's invited.
Exactly.
We're inviting Johnny Manziel. They haven't won a title in 50 years. Everything goes wrong for them at all possible times. Now they're going to draft Joel Embiid first with his broken navicular bone in his foot and his possible stretch fracture in his back. Like, I don't think the city will be able to handle it. If anything, I think they have to go the other way. It's almost like all the baggage they have as a city would have to lead to them just taking the safe pick, which is Jabari Parker.
You can't allow what's happened in the past to dictate how you make this pick.
Unless you're Cleveland.
If you're anybody, you have to take the emotion out of it.
I think
You
how
really
about this? Embiid broke his foot, it seems like, in the Cleveland workout. I think we add that to Cleveland's list of things that have happened to Cleveland. I always have a running joke about how God hates Cleveland. Now God's injuring their draft prospects.
Well, they had Jim Brown.
They did. And they've been and that was it. God was like, that's enough for you guys.
Yeah,
for
they
50
had
years.
Jim Brown.
And they had LeBron for 7 years.
They did.
8 years. I forget 7 or 8, I forget. Okay, so any chance Embiid falls past 3?
No.
Because if he does, I think Arntelm will steer him away from Orlando and Utah.
A lot of smoke screens, but no. Like, he's still a terrific prospect. He just injured.
Okay. All right. This is what we should do, what they should do anyway. So this is what they should do. So far we have, you say Embiid, I say Parker for 1. We both agree Wiggins for 2, and then Embiid Parker for 3.
Correct.
We think that's top 3.
Correct.
Number 4, Orlando. What do you think?
Dante Exum.
Australian dude.
Yes, he's 18 years old. He plays the point. They have some good young bigs. They drafted Oladipo last year. They still have Aaron to follow, depending on what happens with his situation.
They're trading his ass.
So I think they need a point guard. And if this guy is a projected, and I'm not saying it, other draft experts are saying it, that they think he may become a Penny Hardaway type.
Are they saying that?
Yeah.
I don't think he's the same athlete.
He's not. That's why I said
Penny
I'm not
Hardaway was a
saying it.
phenomenal athlete.
He really was.
He really was.
I remember walking past Penny Hardaway when we were going to the club after Chris called timeout in the championship game.
Yeah.
It was like, you guys got to wait in line. Yay. We didn't wait in line. We lost the game, we didn't wait in line.
Nah. Did you play against Penny Hardaway in college?
I did not. I always was a fan of his game. You know how I root for big guards. I mean, there are not too many guys that played point guard at 6'6" or above in college, and actually got drafted to play.
Did you get to play against him in the NBA before he got hurt?
I did.
Like just like a cameo or like a real game against
A
him?
real couple of games. You know, he's
Okay.
quick off his feet. He had good passing skills. He had good court awareness.
By the way, first team All NBA in
Yes.
1995. That
Oh.
means he was one of the best 5 players in the league in
Correct.
1995.
Yes.
Dante Exum is not Penny Hardaway.
No.
I still think he could be really good. I think the comp, like just watching him, this is a terrible way to scout somebody, but what do you want from me? I'm 18 hours away from Australia. It's not like I can go fly and see him. He seems very Larry Hughes-ish to me. Now, that could be a good thing and a bad thing, because I actually thought Larry Hughes should have been better than he was. He never really picked a position. But he did average 20 points a game a couple years and was able to play point, and you know, he got paid too much too early and all that stuff. But
I like that comparison.
You know what I mean?
I don't think Larry Hughes ever scored average 20 in the game.
yeah, he did.
Really?
Yeah.
For who?
I'll look that up right now as we're talking. But
Larry Hughes never averaged 20.
I'm going to look it up right now. But the thing I like about the combo of him and Oladipo, I like because Oladipo is really an undersized 2.
He is.
You want him guarding the other team's point guard, but you want him playing 2 on the offensive side.
And he's going to work hard. He's going to play his role.
Right. So Exum could play point, but guard the other team's 2. Oladipo could play shooting guard on offense, but guard the other team's point guard. And that's kind of weirdly a nice fit. I like it.
And I like Vucevic down low. He's continued to evolve.
You like Vucevic?
I do.
Vich. I think you say Vich with all the Croatians. Do you know how many guys there were named Hughes who played in the NBA? Take a guess.
18.
No, 9. My favorite was Al Frederick. Remember him? Still not sure why he made him. Didn't your team draft him? All right, here we go. Larry Hughes. Drum roll, please. Oh. 22 points a game in 2005 for the Washington Wizards.
Wow.
22. In fact, from 2001, from 2001 all the way through 2006, averaged 16 points a game.
Oh,
5 rebounds, 4 assists.
him and Gilbert.
He got
Arenas.
paid. He got like
Yep.
a $70 million
It was
contract.
him, Gilbert, and Anton Jameson.
But again, people do like Exum, but I'm not going to pretend I know if I'm going to study him on YouTube. But what is that going to do for me?
Yeah,
I need to see people in person.
I do.
But we think Orlando's going to take him.
Orlando's going to take him.
Are we sure they shouldn't take somebody else?
No, I
Would
think
you
that
take
fits.
them?
I think that fits for them. I think it'd be a reach to take another point guard at this point. So yeah, I think that's a safe spot for him.
If Embiid fell to them at 4, would you take him?
You have to take him.
So you think anyone Embiid falls to, you have to take
You
him?
have to.
Even
Best
if you're
available.
Utah?
Yes, you have to.
Okay.
If Embiid falls, you have to take him. You don't go from being the number 1 pick the entire year to breaking your foot and then falling to 10. It doesn't happen.
This feels like they're going to play this clip in the 30 for 30 about Joel Embiid 10 years from now. Utah at 5.
Utah at 5. Okay. They already have Cantor. They already have Favors,
Not a huge fan of either of them.
right? Gordon Hayward and his free agency.
Restricted.
They drafted Trey Burke, and they drafted Alec Burke. I think they need to solidify their backcourt. Get a shooter
Oh.
that can also play basketball.
Are you going to go Gary Harris super early on me?
I am. I think they should take Gary Harris at 5.
Well, they should trade down then. Because they get Gary Harris at 9 or 10.
They should not take another big.
You don't like Noah Vonleh?
They just had Millsap. They just had Jefferson. They let him walk. That means you guys want these 2 big guys, Favors and Cantor, to do something. You can't take another big.
Well, then I need to trade down then. Because I think I can get Gary Harris at 9, 10, or 11.
You can.
Right.
But if you're going to pick at 5, you got to take him.
Maybe I trade with Denver. Could you give me Gallinari in the 11 for the 5?
Well, Gallinari, you haven't seen him play in a couple of years.
I still liked him.
Yeah, I got to see a couple of minutes out of him.
Okay.
Preseason.
Would you give me... Yeah, you're right. He hasn't played in a year and a
Yeah,
half.
you gotta see
I
something
forgot
out of
he
him.
didn't play last year.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
You
a stay. I'm recanting that fake trade. Denver doesn't really have any assets.
Yeah, they don't have any assets.
They have Ty Lawson and Fareed, but then nothing else.
Correct. And Ty Lawson dealing with a foot injury that is a little bit worse than people thought.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you breaking news right now?
Not at all.
Oh.
The thing about our podcast and the James Jacoby podcast, we don't have to break news because we say it real time.
Right.
It becomes breaking news when everybody else realized what we said a month ago.
That's true. That happened multiple times.
Yeah.
Remember the time we did a whole segment about Larry Bird versus LeBron as the greatest small forward ever? And then ESPN decided to have a whole day devoted to it 7 weeks later?
I just noticed.
It's just too bad we didn't do that right on this podcast and then televise and run it on
I
SportsCenter.
said the same thing about Kevin Love and Klay Thompson. Like, we talked about that for a year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, someday people notice us. So Utah, you think Gary Harris?
they got to go backcourt. They need a shooter. You got those big guys, you got to spread the floor. And they weren't well coached. I know Tyrone Corbin's a former player, but I thought he was one of the worst coaches in the NBA.
I thought he was the worst coach in the NBA.
Okay.
That's why I would try to trade for Gordon Hayward, because you always want to have guys on teams that had a bad coach. Because who the hell knows if any of those guys are better than we thought.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about your GM prospects, though. Because Gary Harris is not going in the top 9.
So that means
So you got to trade down to get Gary Harris.
got to trade down. Got to do what we got to do.
I also don't like drafting by need over best player.
Um,
Because, like, for instance, I really like Aaron Gordon. I think I like him more than you, though.
I like him too.
I don't like Vonleh as much.
I like him probably better than you.
Vonleh's 6'10", 250 already, allegedly.
I got him a spot too.
So you know who else is 6'10", 250? LaMarcus Aldridge. You know who else likes to shoot 20-footers? LaMarcus Aldridge. Could he be LaMarcus Aldridge?
So
Is that possible?
is that possible? No. Because he's a real knockdown shooter. Like Vonleh can shoot. Aldridge is a shooter.
Yeah.
And so I think, and we're going to 6 now?
We'll finish Vonleh and then we'll go.
Well, Vonleh's a couple of picks below.
Okay.
So I got Harris at 5th.
Could Vonleh be poor man's LaMarcus Aldridge?
I think he could be Serge Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka?
Yeah.
You think he's that good of an athlete?
No, but Serge is a shooter, not a knockdown shooter, but he can make threes.
So less athletic Serge
He
Ibaka.
can make open shots.
Less athletic Serge Ibaka.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Utah. See, I'm biased here because the Celtics have the next pick. So I want Utah to take a guy that I don't want. So I think they should take Noah Vonleh.
So you guys won't take him? I got who you guys should take, though.
Okay.
You guys at 6, the Boston Celtics should take. So you got Rondo and Bradley. I like that backcourt a lot for what they do. Rondo's an all-star and a champion. Bradley's a lockdown defender that's become a shooter. Green's still inconsistent, but he's on your roster. He's going to show flashes.
Okay.
Your bigs are Olenek and Sullinger.
It's some trouble.
Okay, y'all got to upgrade there.
We do.
Y'all need to go Julius Randle.
You're just not afraid of anyone with a broken foot.
Yeah, that's who y'all need to take. He's going to be Zach Randolph, a little more athletic. Got a good nose for the ball, just like on Monopoly. You know, you got Baltic and Mediterranean on this side, and then you got Park Place and Boardwalk over here. He knows how to find the real estate on the court to make a play happen. That's what I like about him the most, his court sense.
Okay, so you and I spent a lot of time together over the last 6 weeks, and we spent a lot of time talking about this draft. We both really like Julius Randle. Neither of us think he was used correctly by Coach Cal. All due respect to Coach Cal, we like Coach Cal, but he didn't let him shoot jump shots. I feel like he has 20-foot range, and we saw it a couple times early in the season. Then Coach Cal said to him, "You're not allowed to shoot those anymore," and that was it. And he was just trying to pound it down low and be Zach Randolph. I think he's gonna be able to shoot.
What the geometry of the floor is, we got Aaron and Andrew Harrison. One's a shooting guard that can make shots. He was clutching
He is
in the
big
tournament,
moments.
and all of a sudden he grew into a shooter. And then the other Harrison is more of a creator, can't shoot. And so you got James Young, who's a wing, who reminds me kind of like of a Morris Peterson, who can make threes but not necessarily knockdown shooter. You can't have your power forward center out there shooting jump shots because that means you get no offensive rebounds. You're not putting no pressure on the defense.
Yep.
Just because of how the court is structured, that wouldn't be good for the team.
Randall and Sullinger together, I think, would be fun because then Randall could float in and out depending on what
Sullinger looks like he gains weight during the season.
He's gaining weight right now. Listen to the podcast.
And yet, I can't lie. I watched him at Ohio State, being a Michigan fan. He always seems to play well. He makes jump shots now. He wasn't a three-point shooter in college. He's turned himself into a better pro, possibly, than DeJuan Blair. And I didn't think that was possible.
I really appreciate all these nice words about my Celtics.
And Brad Stevenson could just go to UNC when they let go of Roy Williams.
Come on. Don't do that to me.
How can a guy that's making multiple millions of dollars a year as the head coach of a basketball team say he doesn't know what classes kids are taking?
It could be time for Roy to go.
That's your only job besides practicing games.
The Carolina fans are the best, though. They're like, he's just bitter. His career didn't work out.
And me too. I'm just mad because we lost to Carolina in '93. Well, come on now.
So I think the Celtics should take Aaron Gordon with this pick.
Wow. And I'll tell you why they shouldn't when you finish.
Okay. I think he's the Russell Westbrook of this draft. I think people are picking him apart because they're not quite sure what position he is, because he allegedly can't shoot, because
That's not an allegation.
Well, he's 19.
Well, that's not an allegation.
Could you shoot when you were 19?
I am not the subject here.
Could you shoot when you were 19?
I could not. But Gary Harris
You
can.
learned how to shoot.
Gary Harris can.
I know, but I'm just saying, he's 19.
Okay.
I don't care that he shot 42%
So
from free throw.
there are 19-year-olds that can shoot.
I just think
He's not one.
Here's what I want from if I'm taking a top 7 pick, or in this case, top 6, I want somebody who loves basketball.
He does.
I want somebody who is super duper duper competitive, who will run through a wall to win games. I want somebody who is a fantastic athlete, and I think the rest of it's going to figure itself out. I felt the same way about Westbrook. I loved Westbrook in college.
Me too.
I have it in my archives. I didn't know he was going to go 4th, but he was like my big sleeper that year because I was like, this guy's a maniac. I love this guy. And I think Gordon's kind of like that. I think he's going to figure it out. I'm in on Gordon. I'm buying the Gordon stock.
I'm going to tell you why you can't buy the Gordon stock.
Okay.
You just watched the San Antonio Spurs play in the championship, spreading the floor. A lot of times they have 4 guys that can make threes on the court. Who's going to shoot the ball with Rondo, Bradley, and Gordon on the court?
Could he be Sean Marion?
He's taller.
He could be Sean Marion, right?
A taller version.
Guard both forward positions, stand in the corner, make some threes, come flying in, do cuts, learn how to play with smart people. He could be Sean Marion.
He could be. He could be.
Now, here's the problem with Randall. We watched him too much during this season. This always happens. He played, 39 games? He was on TV 26 times. I feel like I watched him more than I watched any other college player. I watched Kentucky.
Kentucky, yeah.
The more you watch, like, oh, this guy can't do that. Oh, this guy, watch when he does this. He can't do that spin move. Kid's 18 or 19.
Right. Oh, he likes to pick his nose when he's sitting on the
Right.
bench. Look.
Meanwhile, Vonleh, yeah. Meanwhile, Vonleh is getting his ass kicked by Alex Ola at Northwestern twice. I didn't see that game because it wasn't on TV. And then Vonleh doesn't make the tournament. So I don't have an opinion on Vonleh because I didn't get to freaking watch him.
Well, I'm a Michigan alum, as everybody knows.
You saw little Vonleh.
And I saw Vonleh
Yeah.
when he played against Michigan. And to be honest, he wasn't dominant against us either.
Yeah.
Like
You weren't watching him going, that's the number 5 pick, no question.
Jordan Morgan held his own against him defensively, okay? And he's hoping to get drafted, all right? Horford held his own against him. Now, as a basketball fan, I won't lie to you. I was watching the game like, I'm glad they're not giving that guy the ball.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's the case for Noah Vonleh. People thought the coach froze him out.
Yeah, I'm like,
and
ooh.
didn't have point guards that got on the ball and all that stuff.
Because he caught the ball a couple of times, did strong post moves, elbow the guy in the chest, jump hook, make the jump shot, 18-foot, make the college 3.
So another guy that was a little like that was Derek Favors at Georgia Tech.
Yep.
They couldn't get him the ball. It was a whole thing. It swung around. It wasn't his fault. Mildly disappointing career for where he got drafted.
I agree.
Never kind of figured it out. Maybe it wasn't totally everyone else's fault.
And so that's why I have your Celtics taking Randall,
Okay.
and I have the Lakers taking Vonleh. Because you have the oldest backcourt in NBA history, and Steve Nash and Kobe Bryant, that are going to make $36 million, more than the big 3 in San Antonio
Right.
combined. You're going to need an inside presence, somebody that's going to do the dirty work, may make an open shot when you kick it to them.
Right.
And imagine the last couple of years, they've lost all-star centers in Bynum, Gasol, and Dwight Howard.
But they got Robert Zachary.
So they have to find some balance on that roster. I think they do it with Noah Vonleh.
What if Randall's there? Let's say Randall and Vonleh are there. Who do you think?
Randall. You got to go for the buckets.
I have them
and the
taking
rebounds.
Randall. Is there any way Marcus Smart goes there? Chad has Marcus Smart going there.
Why would they take Marcus Smart?
I don't know. Why would they?
When they have a shooting guard named Kobe Bryant.
Who is Marcus Smart's comp?
If he could shoot the ball, I would want him to be a Mitch Richmond, but he can't shoot the ball.
But he was a point guard in college, though. I'm super confused by him.
He was playing out of position in college.
So you think he's a 2 guard?
He should not be the primary ball handler.
So he's a 2 guard who can't shoot.
There are a lot of them in the league.
The thing I like about him
Tavo
is
Cephalosha is one of those.
yeah, he's gonna be sitting with us soon. The thing I like about Marcus Smart is how competitive he is. He's another guy. That guy's a badass, man. He can't even control his temper. He wants to win so bad. I feel like he's going to figure out some sort of impact, whether he becomes Tony Allen. You know, even if he's just like defensive stopper, good guy.
See,
He'll do something.
See, you have to watch trends when you take guys. And so the trends are based on who's playing well or what's moving upward. So the teams that were in the finals have Dwayne Wade, have Manu Ginobili, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul. You need a guy that can guard both of them.
Yeah.
And so that's what he's going to be able to do. You're going to need a two that can get switched on Steph Curry and give him problems every now and then.
I just thought of the comp. Eric Bledsoe?
He's not as explosive with the ball. Like Eric Bledsoe get in and out of traffic. He splits screen and rolls.
Well, think about young Eric Bledsoe before we totally knew what position he was.
He's faster.
Maybe that's what he'll just have some sort of combo guard athletic impact.
Yeah. But he could in today's game based on what I'm saying. You need somebody that can guard Lance Stevenson but may get switched on Paul George. And so with his body style and his competitive nature, you always need those guys. And so I think there is a place for Marcus Smart in the league. I think he's going to have a long career. Now, the key is got to get in the gym and start thumping that thing. He got to knock down some shots.
I have Utah taking Vonleh at 5 just because I want them to. The Celtics taking Aaron Gordon at 6.
These are abbreviated picks to help the Celtics cause.
Aaron Gordon at 6, and then Julius Randle, the Lakers, at 7. I think he'd be a good Laker.
I'm surprised that, and I wanted to ask you this question. So, as a lifetime Celtic fan, season ticket holder, and you can see Bill Simmons online, you know, giving the middle figure to the Laker players as they leave the tunnel.
True. I was waving.
When he was a teenager. It makes me nervous that you want a player to go to the Lakers.
No, I'm going to flip that around.
Okay, I'm waiting.
And I was a little suspicious. I like Julius Randle.
Okay.
I want his career to turn out well.
Please continue.
And I think going to the Lakers and getting a lot of shots early on and just they don't really have anybody. Big spotlight, so he won't be able to like slack off. I think it'll be good for him.
I do too. But I have him
I like
going,
the thought of him in LA.
I got him going before that. I got him going to you guys in Boston.
Okay.
What about the light in Boston?
I wouldn't be unhappy with that. I just worry about him and like he's not a rim protector either. Sullinger's not. Olynyk's not. And the thing I like about Aaron Gordon is he could play the forward spot, but he's also my rim protector.
Well, I got to tell you a secret about your Celtics.
Yeah, we suck.
The two of the guys you just mentioned won't be on the roster in a couple of years.
Olynyk Olynyk will end up on the Spurs probably when he's 38 pounds lighter.
Right. Don't look at Sullinger like he's going to be a Celtic cornerstone.
Sacramento's traded that pick.
No, Sacramento, but I had to pick somebody because that was the rules. Right?
I did too.
Okay, so I got Dario Saric is their pick.
Stash him?
Here's why. They're the only team in the league to have 3 guys average 20 last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Isaiah Thomas, Rudy Gay, and Boogie! Right?
Yeah.
So you need somebody's going to be a facilitator, somebody that's from another country that has a secondary language, so when he gets upset at Boogie, he can curse him out and he doesn't understand what he's saying.
It's a great idea. I'm very jealous of it. He's like, where's
right? And also, you need somebody when they're going to this club, strip club, bar, venue, he's going to this other place. So now you have balance on your roster. Totally makes sense.
I really think you need to be a GM.
Right? And
no GM has ever thought. We've had GMs crunch numbers, but never they've crunched the party numbers like this.
And so whose best friend will he be? Ben McLemore.
Well, we need somebody to take care of Ben
right?
McLemore.
That'll be Ben McLemore's guy. He'll be his rook. They'll become friends. He's a passer. He makes other guys around him better. He's like a modern-day version of Tony Kukoc.
What do you mean he's a pastor?
Passer.
Oh, passer.
Yes.
Well, my pick had a little in common with where you just went. I want them to take Alfred Payton. Is that his name? Did I just screw that up?
No, that is his name, but I'll tell you why I can't take him.
Alfred Payton.
I'll tell you why I can't take him.
I panicked. I thought I had the wrong name.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, haven't seen him once. Just watched him on YouTube.
They can't take him.
Why not?
Because in the West, here are the guards you got to go against. Damian Lillard, Steph Curry,
Yeah.
Chris Paul, Tony Parker,
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook, Mike Conley.
Goran Dragic and Aaron Bledsoe.
You need
Eric
somebody
Bledsoe.
that's going to get you some buckets.
Can I give you my reasoning?
Patrick Beverly can lock down on D, right?
Yeah.
Just like Peyton's going to be able to lock down on D.
Yep.
But on the other end, I'm resting.
Okay. You just told me I had 3 20-point scorers on my team.
Yes.
How many balls do I get to play with?
1.
Okay. So I don't need my point guard to
But
score.
you're not going to have Peyton on the floor with Thomas.
Thomas is out. He's
Oh,
not
well,
gonna
then
be on
say
that
that
team.
then.
I'm turning Thomas into my instant offense off the bench.
Okay, well, then that makes more sense.
So here's what I like about Peyton. A couple things. One, he went to college in Louisiana. For some reason, I just feel like him and Ben McLemore are going to be friends. Even though St. Louis, Louisiana, not that close, I just feel like they're going to be close. Ben McLemore needs a buddy.
He does.
I like everything I've read. It reminds me a tiny bit of when Russell Wilson was in minicamp with Seattle, and people just started raving about him. And just one guy after another was like, oh, my God, this guy, I can't believe what a special human being. Like, you read about these workouts with Alfred Payton, every team that he goes to, the people are reacting like it was like Jesus walked through the thing. Like, he went from 25 to 8 in 4 weeks just from these workouts.
That's what happened with Damian Lillard. And I'm not going to turn into an NFL analyst.
Exactly. That's
Correct.
what happened to Damian Lillard.
Correct. And he went to Weber State. So the success of him and guards like Norris Cole to a degree give people confidence that they can take a player like that.
If he went to Kentucky, would we be talking about him in the top 8? Yes.
Yes, we would. And so it's ironic that you brought up the Russell Wilson example because when he transferred from NC State, he went to Wisconsin where they were in the Big Ten, and I played against Michigan. So I got a chance to intimately watch him.
Yeah.
And I always felt like he had what it took to be a Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Because watching him play against Michigan reminded me of watching Drew when he played for Purdue play against our team. So I was not personally surprised that he had the success that he had and the maturity that he has. And I do think Peyton, who's being compared to Gary Payton,
the GP too,
has what it takes to have staying power in this league. A Patrick Beverly defensively, but you got to improve that offense.
You know how I feel about point guards because we've talked about it. Your point guard is your leader.
Yes.
Your point guard is your slap dudes on the ass. He gives you the confidence. He's the guy that makes sure when you go out at night, everybody's included.
He's paying
the guy that takes you out. He's paying the check.
No question.
He's the guy that somebody got dumped by their girlfriend or by their other girlfriend.
So he hooks him up with somebody else.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I got a girlfriend. We're in Chicago.
I'm about to call 3 females over for you.
That's him. That's Peyton. He's the coolest guy. He's like, you know what? I'll handle the media tonight,
Correct.
Boogie. Just go stay in the shower. I got these guys.
And also coming from a small school, he's going to be like, I arrived. So he's not going to feel like, he got to be seen because he's going to appreciate the big stage.
Chip on his shoulder.
No question about it.
Small college.
That's why he might have to carry a bat on his shoulder.
Going against these guys he played against. Oh, Marcus Smart. Oh, I can't wait to play Marcus Smart tonight. All I had to hear all year was that guy was better than me. I'm going to kick his ass today.
Correct.
That's who they should take. Did I talk you into it? I think I might have.
No. I think
you took some guy just because of the club.
I have him going in the lottery, but not there. So just to recap, I got Gary Harris 5.
Yeah.
I got to the Jazz. I got Julius Randle 6 to Boston. Noah Vonleh 7 to the Lakers. Dario to the Kings at 8.
Saric. Just remember with the other Croatian, Yugoslavian, whoever, it's the itch.
Saric. And at 9.
Yeah. Charlotte.
Nick Stauskas.
For Charlotte?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, watching them play, they got Kimba, they got Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, they got Al Jefferson. They need knockdown shooters.
Everyone has McDermott going to them.
I think he's going to make them slower on the perimeter.
I don't think they should take McDermott.
Let me give you an
example.
example.
This? Can you really take Cody Zeller and McDermott in back-to-back years?
No, you can't do that. And here's the thing. McDermott, while I do think he has what it takes to be a long-term pro, I really do. He can't be a starting 3-man in this league.
No.
Let me tell you some of the guys that started the 3 for people who's going to get mad at me for that comment. LeBron James, Kevin Durant,
Paul George,
Carmelo Anthony. He can't play 3 in this league.
No.
Okay.
No, but he could be a stretch 4 with a rim protector behind him.
He can be Ryan Anderson.
Yeah.
Okay. But he doesn't play 3. He plays 4. And so
I was thinking he'd be maybe Page Stojakovic, but Page was actually not a
3.
bad defender either.
6, and he was 6'7". See, this guy's 6'9".
Yep.
Okay, so he ain't gonna be out there guarding those guys. Kawhi Leonard.
I've told you what I'm worried about with McDermott. I'm gonna say it on the podcast.
Okay, go ahead.
What are they gonna do? Fire me? I just
possibly.
Well, what?
You know, there are a lot of people that depend on your livelihood now.
White guys with big asses make me nervous. I'm all for white guys. I'm not afraid of white guys, but when you throw in the big ass, I get nervous. I just don't know who his comp is. I'm trying to think of the white perimeter scorer in my head who had a big ass.
Are you ready for this? I worked out with him before the draft, and I said he was going to be a player. And right now, he's going to be the biggest free agent to change teams since Charles Barkley in Phoenix. His name is Kevin Love.
Kevin Love got in shape. So Kevin Love lost 20 pounds.
Yes.
But he was a power forward.
Correct.
This guy is a pure perimeter player.
Yes.
So I'm taking him really hoping that I'm going to take his body and put it in a different place. Because right now it's in a place that's not going to last long in the NBA.
It doesn't matter what you do. Just off his skill set and the way he's going to move his feet and the way he's going to open up his hips and, you know, things like that. He can't start at the 3 and play against those guys we talked about.
Can we eliminate the Kyle Korver comparison now? Just because
No,
they're
he's not
white.
no.
They have nothing in common. Just stop with
That's
Kyle
just
Korver.
lazy.
That's just like, hey, two white guys. Let's team together.
Yeah, that's just lazy.
I like my Page comparison because I went Page's foreign and Doug McDermott's American. I like going the American foreign.
It's
fun.
almost like when you want to compare Kobe, you want to compare LeBron, you want to compare Wade. You always say Jordan, WWJD. What would Jordan do? Well, that's why he's the GOAT. Because nobody's going to be able to do what he does.
Or when they compare lefties to other lefties, just because they were lefties.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
It's like, no. And so
anyway.
I think they should take Nick Stauskas. He's a stretch shooter. He can run in transition.
I really like Stauskas.
I
don't like him for Charlotte.
But imagine.
So is there 6 man?
Imagine Al Jefferson. No, he's 6'6". He can start if he grows into his game. So
You're gonna play him and Kemba together?
Yes, he's 6'6".
Who is my defensive?
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. See, I'm putting teams together, Simmons. This is what we do with Al Jefferson.
I don't know if I like that.
You got to bring back McRoberts.
Can we just take Marcus Smart here? Why wouldn't they just take Marcus Smart?
Well, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because who's going to shoot the ball when Al's posting up?
Kemba Walker.
No, you got Kidd-Gilchrist and Marcus Smart spotting up for corner threes.
Hold on, I got to do something. I just poured out a 40 for. I'm resigning from the Michael Kidd-Gilchrist fan club. We had a good 2-year run. I believed. I defended him. I think that shot's broken.
It is.
I don't see him ever being able to shoot.
Big
and in this day and age, like, you're Jared Jeffries if you can't shoot.
Big shout to our friend and idol and coworker Doug Collins, and he says this: the game is so hard when you can't shoot.
Doug Collins hates very few things about basketball. He hates turnovers.
And people that can't shoot.
People who can't shoot, who play a perimeter spot. What else does he hate?
Guys that don't play every night. Remember he talks about MJ playing 82 games.
Guys who take nights off. Guys who jog back on defense.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very few things.
And guys who blame the coach and the media.
Yeah, guys, they're the coach and the best of the media. But one of his least favorite things is a perimeter player who can't shoot.
Yes.
He said, Coach, you better be the best defensive player in the league if you can't shoot.
Exactly.
And I just don't see it with Kidd-Gilchrist. So my point is, I'm not worried about Kidd-Gilchrist when I make that pick. I like having a backcourt of Marcus Smart and Kemba. It's the same situation like last year with Cleveland where they should take an Oladipo, but they had Deion Waiters. Like, we have Deion Waiters. We can't take Oladipo. It's like, just take Oladipo. Well, and in this case, it's like if Marcus Smart's there at 9, take Marcus Smart.
But I don't know, Bill. I got a question for you. And for all you fans out there, we hope to be making these decisions for your favorite club one day.
Right.
Who do you think's better between Oladipo and Waiters? I think I need to ask you that question.
Interesting. Who would I like if I could have one guy for the next 10 years? What's
No, you're playing outside on Saturday in the Shirts versus Skins.
Oh.
Who's better?
Oh, that's interesting.
And if you lose, you got to wait 4 games.
I'd want to play with Oladipo.
But who's better?
I'd be a little more scared of playing against Deion Waiters.
Exactly. Because he can go off.
Right.
He can make threes. He'll dunk on you.
But he's also the guy who, if you pick him for your team, he misses 3 shots. He gets mad he didn't get the ball. Then he stops playing and he's calling for the next game. Halfway through your game, he's pointing to his buddy.
Like, can I run
get
with
me,
you?
Get
Can I
me.
run with you?
Can you get me? Can I get you the next game? He's
Right.
also that guy.
So-
Whereas Oladipo's like, we're winning this game.
Right. So
So I think I'd pick Oladipo.
Oladipo is more reliable. You feel like there might be a chance you might have to pop the trunk on Waiters if he gets upset.
Possibly.
Okay.
And I wouldn't have anything in the trunk other than my daughter's soccer uniform, but I would still pop it. So he'd be threatened. All right, so for Charlotte, you say Stauskas, who I really like. I'm not against that. But I think if Marcus Smart's there, they should take him. Philly 10.
This is where I have Peyton going.
Okay, I like it.
Because-
him and Michael Carter. Now, neither of those guys could shoot. What are you doing?
But so now remember, but Michael Carter Williams is 6'7" though. So now you put him with Peyton, who can guard the point guards. Now you got a real backcourt in the Eastern Conference.
Can I ask you a question? If Michael Carter Williams was in this draft, let's just say he got thrown back in the draft.
Okay.
Where does he go? What pick? Does he get past the Lakers at 7?
He'd go higher than he went.
Would he go higher than 7?
Yes, he would.
I don't think he goes higher than 7.
I think he would.
You think Utah would take him 5?
That's what I'm looking at, Utah. Or maybe even the Magic. Maybe they'll like him more than next one.
I don't
They were
think
going
so.
for a big guard.
I think last year's draft was historically awful.
It was.
And the more I look at it compared to this draft, and I think like somebody like
Whoa!
well, like somebody like Trey Burke, where you're like Trey Burke wouldn't even be a lottery pick in this draft. Even after having watched him on Utah for a year, I don't think he's a lottery
that's
pick. I
why-
just think it was a really bad draft.
That's why, as a player, you got to strike when the iron is hot.
Mm.
And when you decide to declare a bill, those are the reasons you take into
Well,
account.
you and I, we've talked about this on the podcast where you came out a year too late.
Yeah,
You
gotta strike
cost
when it's
yourself
hot.
10 spots.
yeah. You gotta hit it. And so, like a player like Gary Harris, hitting it perfectly. Embiid, Wiggins, Jabari, Randall, Gordon, Vonleh.
I have Philly taking Sarge here at 10 because my plan for them if I'm taking Embiid and Sarge, I stash Sarge for a year. Embiid takes his time to come back, and I'm awful again, and I get another top 4 pick. I don't want anybody who can help me. All due respect to Nick Stauskas. And my love for Sarge has come out a little bit because we wrote about it on Great a little bit, but I love that guy. I think Sarge is one of the can't miss guys in this draft.
And you love the fact that he said, I only want to play in L.A. or
I
Boston.
like that too. That means he has good taste. He has good
I
taste.
want to play in Boston.
There's a 12-minute YouTube clip of him that is off the charts great.
There's a 12
That guy's he's like 6'10" Ginobili. He goes to the hoop like a freaking maniac. He shoots threes like he's a badass. He was playing pros when he was 16.
Tony Kukoc.
Like Tony Kukoc with big nuts.
Yeah. I haven't seen either one in the shower, but I'm assuming you're
with
right.
big hypothetical nuts. So anyway, I have that 10 for Denver at number 11.
You ready for this? This is the pick that's going to shock people.
Okay.
I had to go back over this twice when I was doing who I think teams should take.
Did you have anyone taking Vonleh?
I did. I had Vonleh going to the Lakers at 7.
Okay.
So I got Randall to the Celtics.
So you have no Aaron Gordon yet.
I have no Aaron Gordon yet.
Wow.
Okay. So for the Denver Nuggets, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Shabazz Napier.
Oh, that's really high. You've Shabazz Napier going over Aaron Gordon.
Remember I said this.
Okay.
Yes.
Remember? Why do you want me to remember it? Because so I can make fun of you when he goes 30th.
No, actually, I forgot Aaron Gordon.
They're not taking him over Aaron Gordon. You can change your pick. I'll give you a mulligan.
So,
You wrote that at Hooters an hour ago.
yeah, I did. I wasn't paying attention. I was paying more attention to the shirts and skirts. So, Charlotte, I think, should take Gordon.
Okay, good. Charlotte's going to take Gordon. Okay. Please
Charlotte,
adjust your scorecards.
yeah, Charlotte's going to take Gordon.
Okay.
Okay.
So you don't have Alfred Payton going to them anymore.
I have Peyton still going to the Sixers,
At 10. Okay.
right? I have Stauskas going to Denver.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's what it was. I have
I have-
Stauskas going to Denver.
I have Gary Harris going to Denver. Nice pick for them.
He shouldn't fall that far.
That's a nice pick. Ty Lawson, Gary Harris, Fareed. Now I'm building something.
He
I like
shouldn't
my
fall
team.
that far.
My team's headed somewhere. Hey, Gary, this is JaVale McGee, your new teammate. What's up, Gary?
No.
Let's go out.
So speaking of the Nuggets, you got to talk about, they're trying to be in the Kevin Love.
They're not getting
sweepstakes.
Kevin Love. They're going to trade all their assets for Kevin Love, and he's not going to stay there? Why would he stay there?
Yeah, I just had to.
Hey,
throw it out
Kevin, you get to play with Kevin. You got traded to Denver. Oh, cool. I get to play with Ty Lawson and Kenneth Freed. No, those guys got traded for you. You're with JaVale McGee and Danilo Gallinari. That's not happening.
there. So that's what I was doing. So I got Stauskas going to Denver.
Well, then you just. Oh yeah, okay. You're
All right,
Stauskas,
and
Denver.
for the Magic, right? Let me make sure we match this. So they took Exum with their first pick, right?
Yeah,
Now I think they need a stretch four here.
McDermott.
Adrian Payne.
You said McDermott fell out of your top 12. You have no room for McDermott.
No, I got a spot for him, but not
Okay.
yet. I got Adrian Payne going to the Magic.
I have Stauskas going here to the Magic. I like that. I like that for them.
So
Although,
what,
do they need a point guard, don't they?
what did they go? So you draft him. So let me tell
But
you.
I took all the point guards.
Let me tell you what
But I
you're
already
doing.
ripped off Smart, Peyton, and they're all gone.
You're doing what Sacramento did when they took. So they already had a couple of point guards, and then they draft Jimmer.
Right.
They draft Isaiah Thomas. They draft Macklemore last year.
Yep.
They have all new guards. So if you're gonna take another guard with the Magic, you just took Oladipo.
Yep.
You already got Aaron Aflalo.
I'm trading Aaron Aflalo.
Okay.
Yeah. He's out.
Then that makes sense. More sense.
Yeah. I'm trading Aaron Aflalo. I made that pick assuming that I think they're going to trade him. And they're probably going to trade him to Charlotte at number 9 or Denver at number 11 or wherever. But I don't think he's on the team.
Now, Payne is going to be an interesting prospect.
Well, it turns out he had mono for 2.5 months, right?
Yes.
During the season.
So I'm Chip. Him and Gary Harris, Chip's in the middle of the table. Like those guys, they compete. I really appreciate about that about both.
Last great Michigan State NBA player.
Zach Randolph.
Okay, he was in the 2001 draft.
You can say that about a few schools. You can say that about my alma mater if that's the case.
I just wonder. Okay, let's say it about your alma mater.
We only have 3 pros.
I wonder why the Michigan State guys always look better in college than they do in the pros.
Because they come from a system.
Right.
They
Great
are
coached.
They are coached every day in practice, every game, every shoot
talent is
around,
maximized.
every possession. And so by the time they get to the pros, though, at least they're a more mature player because they understand playing in a team concept and working hard.
I'm not against Adrian Payne. You know what? Now, I really like the thought of Stauskas on Phoenix. I kind of screwed that up. I should have rigged it. But I think I like Orlando, and they can use Stauskas as 6-man. Minnesota, 13.
Now, this is where they get Doug McDermott.
Ooh.
You lose Kevin Love. You bring in Klay Thompson. Lee plays inside.
That trade's not happening. They're not getting Klay Thompson for Kevin Love. You
Yes,
think
they
that's
are.
happening?
I heard it on the Jalen Jacoby podcast.
Oh, stop it.
They are. I know. And see, that's the Celtic fan in you. I know. I know.
That trade's not happening.
And you know what I like about you?
I don't think Golden State traded Klay Thompson.
Let me tell you what I like about you from a national media perspective. And everybody in Boston, stand up right now. How you just wrote an article recently that said how the Celtics have the best assets to get Kevin Love.
Because Golden State's not trading Klay Thompson.
That's because you want him in Boston.
Golden State's not trading Klay Thompson.
It's because you want him in Boston.
Because Michael Thompson's dad said it on the radio. They're trading him now.
He probably would know a little bit about what's happening with his son.
I have McDermott going to Minnesota. I agree with you on that.
That's a good one, right?
Yep. And then 14, Phoenix.
This is an easy one. They need a 3. James Young.
Seems pretty easy.
Yeah. They already got the little point guards. You got Goran. You got Bledsoe.
Did we forget anybody? I don't think we did.
No, that's 14. So to recap mine, so everybody want to keep score, I got Embiid, Wiggins, Jabari, Exum, Gary Harris, Julius Randle, Noah Vonleh, Saric.
No, you changed one of those, didn't you?
No, that's right.
Oh, Sarge, okay.
Saric at 8.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon at 9.
Yeah.
Elfrid Payton at 10. Stauskas at 11 for Denver. Payne at 12. McDermott at 13. James Young at 14.
Okay. And I don't remember who I had. So I changed my mind a bunch of times. But I like the thought of Peyton on the Kings. I like Gordon in Boston. I guess I did mostly picks that I just like the thought of. I like Randall in L.A.
Me too.
I like the thought of Stauskas on some sort of team that will use him as a 6-man coming out of the gate.
They have to run.
Orlando.
Whatever team he plays on have to change. They got to windshield wiper the game.
I have an announcement to make now that Ty Corbin's not in the league anymore. Now that Mike Brown's not in the league anymore.
You got another worse coach?
I think Jacques Vaughn is the leader in the clubhouse right now.
Yeah.
That team was a lot worse than it should have been the last year.
I agree.
Come on, Jacques.
Come on, Jacques.
No more tanking. Enough. Enough of the tanking. You have a good
we
team.
was looking at his roster like, well, Oladipo only played 15 minutes.
Whatever. Jalen Rose,
Yes,
enjoy
sir.
the weekend.
You enjoy the weekend as
We're
well.
going to be in New York City. Wednesday night is the draft.
In New York!
It's concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
The scores is made. Okay, yeah.
Wednesday night draft preview. Thursday night.
Jay
the draft.
Billis, Reese Davis.
Yes. The Scene in New York City. Where dreams are made or broken. Thanks for listening to BS Report. Enjoy the weekend.